Have you ever wondered how finding great products really look like and what does it take? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now, there are a bunch of tools and a bunch of methods out there that you could use or you could utilize to finding products, but personally, I love Helium 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to jump into my computer, go through the dashboard of Helium 10, show you my personal product research criteria and the parameters that we set to finding great products. We'll go from there. So Helium 10 has a bunch of different tools, anywhere from sending emails to your customers after they purchase to get them to buy, to leave you reviews, all the way to optimizing and managing your PPC campaigns, to finding keywords for certain products, and so on. However, one tool that I personally love is this tool called the black box. Now, what the black box does is that it actually shows you exactly products, or it pulls products from Amazon according to certain parameters that you personally set. So the very first thing that I personally love doing is that I love to look into categories that I feel like I want to sell in. Now, the cool thing about these categories is that, number one, they are, I guess you can call them like vanilla categories. They are categories where are not restricted, they're not gated. Anybody can simply list a product in those categories. You don't need special approvals or special, documentations or anything to list in. So that's the very first thing that I'm going to do. For me, these are the categories that I like to sell in. I'll go for baby. Then I will select health and household, home and kitchen, industrial and scientific, kitchen and dining, office products, pet supply, sports and outdoors, and then toys and games. Okay. Now, although toys and games could be restricted, so you just have to be a little careful with that. But for the sake of this video, we are going to keep it. Now, the second thing is, you want to do is you want to figure out exactly what kind of a product you want to look for. Now, before you start saying, well, I want to look for a product that makes me $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000 per month, the very first thing they have to think about is, how much money do I have, right? That's the very first thing they have to think about. If you have $2,000, you need to look for a product that's different than if you have $10,000 or if you have $20,000, right? You can sell on Amazon if you have $2,000. It'll probably be a little bit more difficult. I suggest you have at least $3,000 to $5,000 to launch a product, $5,000 to $7,000 if you want to launch a product, plus have someone actually teach you and walk you through it and show you how it's done. For instance, if you want to have BJK University help you out. So the very first thing you have to think about is, how much money do I have? Say, for instance, you've got about $5,000 to launch a product. I'm going to walk this video according to that criteria. Now, look, if you're enjoying this video so far, please do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. Also, if this is your first time to the channel, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, as we drop brand new videos every single week about selling on Amazon and other topics to help you crush it out there. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say monthly revenue. What is the monthly revenue that I want to shoot for? What I want to do is I have $5,000. If I have $5,000, I can probably make at least $10,000 per month, $8,000 to $10,000. So what I'm going to say is, we'll go for a minimum of $8,000. So I need a product that makes me a minimum of $8,000. Now, you can also go and put in a price, right? What I suggest is that you either do a price or revenue. So you could either say, I want a product that produces about $8,000 a minimum per month, or you could delete that and then say, you know what? I want a product that sells for, you've got 5,000, should take out $500. I've got another video on the channel where I talk about how to budget correctly. I take out $500 out of my total budget to come up with my product budget. Product budget is my total budget minus $500. And that $500 usually goes to creating a listing, photography, tools, all that stuff, to buy Helium 10, all that. And by the way, below this video, we're also going to link a coupon code where you can get 50% off to your very first month of Helium 10, and also another coupon code where you can get 10% off of Helium 10 moving forward. You're going to see those videos below, or those links below this video. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my price, $4,500. Say I want to order at least 300 units. Divided by 300, that means I can afford a product that costs me $15. right? So then you could say, okay, well, I could do $15 minimum. Now, what is the maximum? Well, the maximum is you shouldn't be ordering more than 200 units. I mean, less than 200 units, my bad, right? So you shouldn't be ordering less than 200 units. So that means that the product cost could be as high as $22.50. I will say $20. However, this is not the cost price, this is the sell price. Now we teach our students that whatever product cost is, your sell price should be 4 times that, or vice versa. Whatever the product sell price is, your cost should be 25% of that. So if $15 is your minimum product cost, then 4 times that is $60, right? I think that's a little too high. We're gonna do $30. The highest we can go $60, right? So you could either do this or you could do the revenue. For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna do revenue. It's just easier. The second thing that I'm gonna worry about is review count. Now, this determines how competitive the product is and how, I guess, how much you can, like how easy it is to compete, right? Up to 250, 300, up to 250 or 300 reviews on average is good. So I'm just gonna say 250 because you're a beginner, you've never sold on Amazon. 300 is a little too much, I would say 250, right? Now you could go and do other parameters. So you could go and say, well, you know, I want to make sure that the product that I'm gonna sell isn't very large. It's a small product because your shipping costs will be high. I also want the average rating of a product to be, let's say, not more than 3 stars, because that means there's room for improvement, right? You can also go into advanced filters and say, you know, like all this stuff you could do. For me personally, I like to stick to this stuff. Keep it simple, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Either do this or remove this and then do your price, right? So for the sake of this video, we're just gonna say we're gonna do the revenue and then we're gonna do a product. And then we're gonna actually search a product, right? And then I'm just gonna keep going down. So in my mind, I know I want to sell things like that. In my mind, I want to sell something that's not seasonal. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to make sure that the product that I sell fits in a shoebox because my shipping cost is going to be high, especially now with, you know, container costs going from 2,000 to 16,000. You don't want your product to be very heavy or very large. The third thing, I want to make sure that it is not breakable because again, it's coming all the way from overseas, going to be stored in Amazon's warehouse. It's going to sit there for maybe a few days, a couple of weeks till it goes to the customer. I don't want it to break. So those are the 3 things that I'm going to focus on. Is again, number 1, I don't want it to be seasonal. Number 2, I don't want it to be very big or very heavy. Number 3, I don't want it to be, you know, breakable, right? So I'm going to focus on those 3. So while I have those 3 things in mind, this is how I'm going to kind of go through this, right? Now, obviously, everything else should be according to my criteria. So I shouldn't be worried about, well, it needs to also fit this categories and it needs to fit this criteria because Helium 10 has already done that for me, right? So then I'm going to go here and what is that? So vinyl privacy window film adhesive grass. Okay, so this could be something. We can check it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if I click on it here, it will actually pull up the product on Amazon, right? So this looks like one-way. Okay, so this is the interesting thing. It's a perforated vinyl privacy window adhesive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say perforated vinyl wrap, window wrap, vinyl window wrap. Okay. So this feels, and then what I want to do is also I want to take this to here and then I want to change it, right? So this is what I want to do is once I found a product that I feel like, okay, this might be something, right? Then Helium 10 got this cool tool that's called X-ray. When you click on X-ray, X-ray is going to pull all the information from other sellers, right? It's going to pull, you know, how much they sell for, how much money they make per month, how many reviews they have, how long they've been selling for, all this stuff, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look over here. Now, the very first thing that pops at me right away is the fact that it's brand dominated. That's the other thing that I want to watch out for. I don't want one brand to have more than 3 listings. And the fact that there are 2 brands that have definitely a lot more than 3 listings, this is where I'm going to stop and I'm going to move on because this product is brand dominated. So then I'm going to completely delete this and I'm going to go to the next one. What is that? So laminator, Thermal Laminating Corp. Okay, this is a little complicated. It's not your regular easy product, you know, like this, kind of like your simple product laminator. I don't know, that's just too much work for me. Wizard of Oz, Pet Custom. Okay, so this might be something cool, but then maybe it's because of Halloween the numbers are high, right? We can check that. So what we could do is we can Wizard of Oz collection Pet Custom. So what we could do is we could actually take that and then we can go to Amazon and type that in there and then see it's probably because of Halloween. That's why it's showing that it's a good product, but it really isn't, you know? And then here's how we can check if the product is seasonal or not. So once you pull up X-ray at Helium 10, by the way, if you want Helium 10, be sure to click the link below to get 50% off first month and then 10% off moving forward. So right next to the keyword, there is this thing. So you see how it says NA, that means search volume. That means the search volume isn't a lot. And I'm looking for a search volume of a minimum 3,000 monthly searches, right? So what I was going to do is I was going to look for the trend and see how this keyword is trending, but obviously it doesn't even have any search volume. So I'm going to probably pass on this one. Okay, pills, I don't do any of that. Fridge, wow, okay, that's interesting. All right, so here's one problem. The problem is I did not set a max. So you want to make sure that you set a max, right? So let's just say that my max is $20,000 because do you see how it's coming, you know, bringing up like funny products like this one is $300. This one is $2,000. Obviously, we don't want to do that. We want to set a max for our revenue. That way it's not showing us all these crazy products, right? Let's see, maybe we even bring this down to 10,000 per month. So that's 10,000. Okay, so then we keep going down. What is that? So self-healing cork bulletin board. Huh, that's interesting. So self-healing bulletin board. Okay, well, it's not just a regular bulletin board, it's a self-healing. That's interesting. Never seen that before. So self-healing cork bulletin board. So I'm going to take that keyword and then I'm going to go to all departments and then I'm going to paste that on Amazon. And then I'm going to see what these numbers look like. Okay, well, this is something. All right, so do you see how, again, the same brand is dominating? Again, this is not a niche that I want to be in, right? But then what if I remove the word cork? And this is where like playing with words could actually help you out. So you don't want to just completely dump the product just because, you know, it doesn't match or there is a bunch of sellers or, you know, a bunch of listings by the same seller. You want to start playing around with the words and then see what really happens and if anything different comes up, right? So obviously, because I know that it's brand dominated, that's the very first thing I'm going to look at. If that's the case, I'm gonna remove. Okay, so All right. So maybe it's the niche of self-healing that this, okay, see, I like this. Okay, so I think it's the self-healing that's really what's going on here. Okay, so I like the cork, but here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna remove the self-healing, and then I'm gonna just leave cork, bulletin board, and see what happens now, right? I am almost 100% sure this is not gonna be brand dominated by that other brand, but it's probably going to be, let's see here. Okay, there we go. So what I like to do is I like to remove the sponsored products because those have made it here by paying their way in. So although there is, okay, two by the same, but then everybody else, look at this. This is a perfect product. Look at these. Okay, it's a little bit competitive, but then you see how there is a few sellers that have 846 reviews, 39 reviews, and still doing very decent, 7,000, 8,000, right within where I want to be, right? So this is the revenue count that I want to be in, okay? So as you can see here, the very first thing is, okay, so 1,700, I want it to be at least 2,000 to 3,000, so maybe I will start playing around with keywords so I can find a better keyword. And this is where Helium 10 actually has another tool called, where is it? It is called Magnet. No, that's not it. Keyword search. There we go. It's called Magnet. So when you go to Magnet, you could actually type the keyword that you have, cork bulletin board, and then it'll give you all the other keywords that are relevant or related to that keyword, right? And then you can also change the marketplace that you're looking in. So then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the price. So the price, you know, I want to be between $20 to $40 or so. This is right around there. Revenue is amazing, right? Reviews are a little high, but then I go down and I look at these two guys, and those two have low reviews within the 250 that I was looking at, and they have revenue within the revenue that I was looking for, right? So there's definitely potential here in this product. Now, obviously, this is not it to determining that this is an amazing product and that this product is a go, right? There are a few other steps. But before I get into those few other steps, if you want to learn from BJK University, if you want to learn from us, and so that we can walk you through how to select the right product, how to differentiate it correctly, how to launch it on Amazon, there is a short presentation that I walk you through exactly how we do what we do. Then you'll have a chance to speak to one of our enrollment coaches. Do be sure to click the link below this video. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to figure out how are you going to differentiate the product. So here are a few things for you to know. After you find a product, you want to differentiate. Now, I'm not saying that this is a good product and go launch it, because there are a few other things that I would like to look into. And right now, this product is at about a 5 or 6 out of 10 for me. But a few other things, let's say you determine that this is a great product and that you want to launch it. The next thing you want to look at is how can I differentiate this product? How can I stand out? The second thing is how much can I price it for? And then once you have these two information, then you can go and start, talking to manufacturers and start finding a manufacturer that can produce the product for you at 25% of your sell price, of whatever the sell price is. As you can see, the average sell price here is $20, $25, although there's a few that are selling for much higher. So then you have to determine, do I sell it for the $20 price range? Do I go for the more expensive? There are some as high as $500. So those are all questions they have to ask yourself when you're finding products, and you need to know exactly how to do all the stuff. Now, there's obviously a lot more to finding great products and using Helium 10 to the max. If you want us to show you exactly step by step on how to crush it on Amazon, click the link below. We'll take it from there.